All right, we're going to work on the song Aiken Drum. How many of you remember that song? Yeah? It was a silly song about a man who lives in the moon. Now, he has lots of different silly body parts. You and I, we have arms, and we have legs, and we have a face, and we look like people. But does Aiken Drum look like a person? Probably not. So, what was his head? Does anybody remember? Maybe we should practice our song. There was a man lived in the moon, in the moon, in the moon. There was a man lived in the moon, and his name was Aiken Drum. Remember, his head is an apple. And his head was an apple, an apple, an apple. And his head was an apple, and his name was Aiken Drum. Remember, his body was a pickle. And his body was a pickle, a pickle, a pickle. And his body was a pickle, and his name was Aiken Drum. Now remember, he had arms, so what we did, so we make an X with our hands, and then pat our arms. And his arms, they were bananas, bananas, bananas. And his arms, they were bananas, and his name was Aiken Drum. And his legs, they were sausages, sausages, sausages. And his legs, they were sausages, and his name was Aiken Drum. Remember, his eyes were cherries. And his eyes, they were cherries, cherries, cherries. And his eyes, they were cherries, and his name was Aiken Drum. Remember his nose? It was an orange. And his nose, it was an orange, an orange, an orange. And his nose, it was an orange, and his name was Aiken Drum. Remember, his mouth was licorice. And his mouth, it was licorice, licorice, licorice. And his mouth, it was licorice, and his name was Aiken Drum. And his hair was spaghetti, spaghetti, spaghetti. And his hair was spaghetti, and his name was Aiken Drum. All right, nice job, my friends. I am going to draw Aiken Drum, and guess what? You're going to be drawing Aiken Drum today too. Now, does your Aiken Drum have to look like my Aiken Drum? No, it does not. You can change what his head is. You can change what his nose is. You can change what his eyes are. Okay, so today I'm going to draw the whole Aiken Drum, but you're just going to draw his face. You're going to decide if his head is still an apple, or maybe you make it an orange. Okay, I think instead of drawing his whole body, I think what I'll do is I'll just draw his head and his face, because that's what you're going to be doing today. So let's see, I'm going to choose purple. How about I make his head still an apple, and it's going to be a purple apple. So let's see, an apple has kind of like a dip, and then it's got a couple things there at the bottom. And then, ooh, that's not a very good apple. And then we'll give it a little stem, but it might get covered up by the hair. So his head was an apple. I'm going to keep his eyes as cherries. So I'm going to make his eyes cherries. Whoop. And another cherry. Whoop. What should I make his nose? What if I make his nose a pickle instead of his body? Pickles are green, right? Okay, so here's his nose. Pickles are kind of funny shaped, and they have little bumps on them. So there's his pickle nose. Okay, what about his mouth? What should his mouth be? What if we did an orange slice this time? What if we said his mouth, it was an orange? So I'm going to make an orange slice. And I think let's see. Mrs. Barnum's going to do her best drawing, and this is my best drawing. I bet some of you guys are going to have way better drawings than Mrs. Barnum. All right. What about his hair? What should his hair be? What should his hair be? What do you think? I think I'm going to stick with spaghetti for his hair. That's just me. But you can do whatever you want. So my hair kind of looks like spaghetti, doesn't it? Yeah, because it's all curly and kind of wavy. And it's kind of the color of spaghetti. So my hair is kind of like spaghetti. All right, so we're going to give him spaghetti hair. I'm just making it yellow. You can make it any color you want. Ooh. And there is my Aiken drum. Now, does your Aiken drum have to look like my Aiken drum? Remember, it doesn't have to look like mine. So I'm going to bring it a little bit closer so you can see. There's my Aiken drum. And that is all you're going to be doing today. Okay? So you are going to go to the drawing app, and then you are going to draw your Aiken drum face and head. So make sure you include his mouth, his nose, his eyes, his hair, and then you're going to tell us about what you chose for your Aiken drum. All right, friends? See you next time.